how close was Bryce Harper to becoming a Dodger? We're going to dive into that in just a second, but quick reminder, for our latest Dodgers news and rumors all off-season long, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you really want to support the channel, smash that like button. And I want to know from you guys down below in the comment section, today's Dodgers Nation question of the day. Will the Dodgers regret not signing Bryce Harper back in 2018? Let me know down below. And for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. Bryce Harper's having a postseason for the ages. His 1230 OPS currently ranks as the 6th best for a player with at least 40 plate appearances in a single postseason. That puts him up there with names like Barry Bonds, Carlos Beltran, Ricky Henderson, Paul Molitor, Willie Stargell, Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, Alex Rodriguez, and Big Papi. That is the kind of company that he keeps now in a single postseason. Future Hall of Famers, legends of the game. His 11 extra base hits are 3 shy of the MLB record for a single postseason, held by David Freese from the 2011 Cardinals and Randy Arozarena from the 2020 Tampa Bay Rays. His go-ahead home run in Game 5 of the NLCS is already considered to be the greatest home run in Phillies history. It's one of the most memorable home runs in recent postseason history, and the question today is, how close was he to being a Los Angeles Dodger? Well, let's rewind a little bit. Back in 2018, Bryce Harper was the most coveted free agent in baseball history. Harper ultimately signed a record-breaking 13-year, $330 million deal with the Philadelphia Phillies, and that deal included a $20 million signing bonus, no deferred money, and no opt-outs. Why no opt-outs? Because Bryce Harper didn't want one. Harper made it very clear that whatever team he was going to sign with, he was going to commit to long-term. He wanted that security, he wanted that stability, and he wanted to build something. And he made it very clear at his introductory press conference with the Phillies that he wanted to bring a World Series title back to D.C.
We want to bring a title back to D.C.
Okay, a little Freudian slip there by Bryce Harper, and the Nationals would go on to win the World Series in 2019, but I don't think that's what he meant. Now, how close was he to saying that he wanted to bring a title back to Los Angeles? Well, the Dodgers made a few different attempts to acquire Bryce Harper during the 2018 season. Once before the non-waiver trade deadline in July, when they offered the disgruntled and often troublesome Yasiel Puig for him, but the Dodgers and Nationals weren't able to reach an agreement on a deal. Then later, the Nationals placed Harper on the now defunct revocable trade waiver wire. Now, if you remember, the revocable trade waiver allowed teams to place a player on waivers and to negotiate trade offers following the July 31st trade deadline. But it also gave them the right to remove a player from the waiver for any reason they chose. And after the Nats placed Harper on waivers, a mystery team claimed him, and that mystery team was the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, unfortunately for LA, the Nationals decided that they wanted to hold on to the generational talent, and they ended up keeping him for the rest of the season. So why didn't the Nats complete a trade with the Dodgers? Well, it's possible that after LA claimed him, the Nationals didn't think the Dodgers had the requisite assets that they wanted to get a deal done. Also, the Dodgers weren't going to vastly overpay for 2 months plus a postseason for a rental of Bryce Harper. So to them, it wasn't worth negotiating. Also, the deal involved their cornerstone franchise player, so the Nationals general manager Mike Rizzo needed ownership approval to make the deal official, and owner Ted Lerner simply axed the trade, and that was that. It was also believed within the industry that the Dodgers decided to claim Harper in order to prevent other teams from acquiring him. So the Dodgers were 0-2 in the regular season, but let's jump to the offseason when Bryce Harper was the most coveted free agent in baseball and one of the most coveted free agents in the history of professional sports. Bryce's super agent, Scott Boras, was even calling his free agency Harper's Bazaar, and you had tons of big-name franchises interested in signing the generational talent. And that's when the Dodgers jumped in. There was a lot of buzz around baseball that LA was interested in jumping in and signing him at the last minute. Around the time that it was being reported that LA was in the mix for Harper, a literal Brinks truck was spotted outside the Dodgers spring training facility. And that sent Dodger fans everywhere into a frenzy, thinking that LA was going to land the star free agent. The rumors at the time were that Harper wanted to be in LA, closer to where he's from in in Las Vegas, and they definitely made a strong push to sign him, but on a deal that was very different than the one he would ultimately sign with Philadelphia. At the time, Andrew Friedman still hadn't signed any player to a contract worth in excess of $100 million, and LA's plan was to see if they could get big-name free agents to sign shorter-term, higher AAV deals to maintain long-term flexibility and not get tied down to these big mega contracts worth over $300 million. The Dodgers reportedly offered Bryce a 4-year, $180 million contract that would have paid him a record $45 million a year, and it would also have given Harper another chance to test free agency while still in his prime at the age of 30. And after he signed that record-breaking 13-year, $330 million deal with the Phillies in 2019, he talked about how he turned down that last-minute offer from the Dodgers. He told Barstool Sports, at the last second, the Dodgers came in with like a 4-year offer with super high AAV and opt-outs. I got so tired of my whole career in DC. Everybody talking about, even after my first year, all everyone talks about is, where is he going? When they came in with the opt-outs, the Dodgers, I was like, I don't want to do that because I don't want the opt-outs. I want a no trade. I want these people knowing that I'm here, the good, the bad. So basically, Bryce wanted to sign with the team where he didn't have to worry about answering the same questions on his future. He wanted to focus on playing baseball. And in Philly, he's done just that. In his career in Philadelphia, spanning 4 seasons, he has a .940 OPS with 101 home runs, 115 doubles, and he won the 2021 MVP, and he just took home the 2022 NLCS MVP. Now, the question for the Dodgers is, will they look back and regret not signing Bryce Harper? Well, I asked you guys that question on Twitter, and 45.5% of you said yes, while 54.5% of you said no, and that was with 5,381 votes. Now, hindsight is always 2020, but what's interesting to me is if the Dodgers were able to acquire him via trade or through the waiver wire, would they have offered him a 10-year contract? Maybe he does play for the Dodgers and he goes on a tear and he comes through in the postseason and the fans love him. Maybe they do consider offering him a 10 to 13-year deal closer to the amount that he got with the Philadelphia Phillies, because we saw what the Dodgers did with Mookie Betts a year later. They traded for him, and before opening day, they inked him to a 12-year, $365 million contract. And look, it's the Dodgers. They can afford Mookie and Bryce Harper. They did offer Corey Seager a $290 million contract after they had signed Mookie Betts, so they still have a lot of money, but it just wasn't to be. And if you ask me, between Mookie and Bryce Harper, look, Bryce is definitely the better hitter at the plate, but what Mookie did for the Dodgers in 2020, defensively changing the game, he's been a multi-time All-Star, still has been one of the best players in the game, and he still has some prime years left. So I still think it's too early to tell. Hopefully Mookie has his Bryce Harper moment in the future for LA in October, something like we saw in the NLCS from Bryce. But let me know down below in the comment section, do you think the Dodgers will regret not signing Bryce Harper? Let me know down below. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. For all latest Dodgers news and rumors all off-season long, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.